Hey guys, Dr. Jamie Richards here, Life by Design Strength and Conditioning Center, radio show, podcast, Cafe of Life Chiropractic Studio, and Richards Family Chiropractic. And every single month in our offices, we send out a video newsletter. And in that newsletter, we'd love to share stories of people or families who had a really positive experience through the correction of subluxation, the restoration of the brain and body connection, and really the implementation of the other Life by Design principles. People whose lives have been really changed through the power of the chiropractic principle. And, in the 8 years we've been doing that, I started to realize that I'd never actually shared my own story. So I thought, maybe this month and next month I would share mine and then Dr. Joel could share his. I really didn't know a whole lot about chiropractic, for my first 21, 22 years of life. We had a chiropractor in our town who, from what I understand now, didn't practice wellness-based chiropractic, really dealt with therapies and modalities and um, physiotherapeutics. And I'd been into the office, but never received a chiropractic adjustment, never any talk on my spine or nervous system or my health for that matter. And when I went away to school, I was at McMaster and I was playing football and studying kinesiology and really had some thoughts of going on and becoming a medical doctor or a teacher. And I had spoken with someone who was a colleague of mine, had already gone off to chiropractic college and come back, and was telling me about this chiropractic philosophy, the idea that the body could heal itself, that the brain and nervous system ran the body, and that interference in that system could interfere with health. And I thought, wow, that's pretty logical and pretty straightforward. And I never really thought about it in that way. And I started to explore it a bit more. And long story short, I ended up going to chiropractic college, but I went without ever receiving chiropractic care. And there's a plus and a minus to that. Obviously, I chose a whole profession without really experiencing the benefits of that. But at the same time, my experience in chiropractic didn't interfere with my understanding because it just made so much sense to me that I knew, based on logic alone, that it was going to be an amazing experience. In my first few months of care, or of school, I should say, I didn't really receive that much care, and I really never jumped into the chiropractic care part, but just kind of into the ologies and the studies and the school, and I ended up running myself down to the point where I developed pneumonia. And that was a pivotal time for me because it was right about the time where I heard Dr. Reggie Gold speak. And Reggie was talking about, having cancer and receiving chiropractic care. And I remember leaving with the understanding that, well, I guess if you have cancer, all you need to do is get adjusted. And I thought, well, that doesn't make any sense. And, how can we tell people that? And luckily, I had my friend who was already a couple years ahead of me to kind of interpret what Reggie was saying. And it wasn't that chiropractic was a treatment for cancer. It was that if you had cancer, you sure as heck didn't need to have subluxation as well. And that's the first time I really got it on a bigger level, that no matter where you were at, health or sickness, that you're always better off with a clear nervous system. That was the basis of chiropractic. And so from there, I started on a journey of receiving regular care, and it was amazing. I went from all the damage and destruction that playing sports and athletics had done through my life in my spine and nervous system. I had regular headaches, I had immune system depression, I had changes in my skin. There was all kinds of changes that I didn't know were linked back to the core function of my body. And so I started to get adjusted, and right away I felt better. My headache started to reduce. My skin started to get better, which was really surprising to me, and eventually my digestion and other changes. And they came slow and subtle over the course of a 5, 6, 7 year period. It wasn't like just miraculously all of a sudden every single part of my body worked better. That healing took time, as we often tell people in our offices, that you do the right things because of the right things, not necessarily because we're measuring some type of change and defining everything based on that. We're doing it because we know what works, and a clear nervous system works on every level, whether you feel it or not. That having a clear nervous system is like drinking water. It's always better for you if you're getting the adequate amounts. So I carried on through chiropractic college, moved to Costa Rica and had a practice in Costa Rica. And before I went, I said to a mentor, I said, I really understand this. It makes sense. I've had this amazing change through chiropractic, but how do I really, really know that I can go into the world and share this with people and know that it's going to be life changing? And he said, why don't you just not get checked for a while? And so it just so happened in Costa Rica, I was the only chiropractor for, 4 to 6 hour distance. So it just naturally, it was very difficult for me to get checked. And, had I made the decision that I wanted to get checked, I probably would have done it. But it was perfect timing to say, well, here's my chance to not get checked and see what happens. And so it was interesting. It wasn't, what people would traditionally think, oh, well, I felt worse, this hurt or that hurt. My skin got worse. My mood started to change. I became more irritable. My digestion started to change. And I started to realize that the adjustment was so much more than just feeling good, that it really was about my whole body working in a state of harmony and interaction and balance and really truly expressing health from the inside out. And so, I can't thank chiropractic enough for my life. Not just being healthier, but being vibrant, being alive, and really trusting my body to the point where I've taken no medication in the last 11 years, where I've received no medical care other than stitches and an unfortunate trauma to the eye with a puck. Um, and even in that instance, I really questioned whether my body needed those stitches or not. And funny story, but Joel and I at the time, we took a 10-15 minute period where we decided whether I was actually going to get the stitches or not get the stitches. I wanted to see what my body could do, and that's kind of what the philosophy and principles brought me around to, is just seeing my body as um, almost as an experiment, seeing what it can do and what it's capable of. And I tell you what, it hasn't let me down. And being subluxation free and eating by design and moving by design and living this lifestyle has done so much for me, and it's enabled me. And this is the bottom line, it's really enabled me to go out and not just live a better life for me, but to give back more, to be a better uncle, to be a better brother, to be a better son, to be a better person in my community, and to make a bigger impact on my world. And that's really what chiropractic is about, both the principle, the philosophy, and the application. So, for those people who aren't under chiropractic care, I implore you to check it out, to find out more, to understand, to remove the myths and the mythology, and really just understand what is possible for you and your body if your nervous system was clear and if you were living your life by design. So, until we see you, make it a great day.